Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, all through the year, I try to talk about tips that people pass on to me, what lure they're using, and so forth. You know, that's all I think hugely important. But now, at this time of the year of reflection, I look back and I think the one thing that I want you to realize, all of you people that are trying to get more into fishing, is that it doesn't matter what lure you use. That's not the most important thing. We say, oh, this one's hot, and the fish are really crazy about this lure or that lure, but that's really not the top point. I think the most important thing that we can develop in becoming a better fisherman is the expertise in our presentation. Remember that. My buddy Rocky told me a week ago, he said, you know, with all these salmon and steelhead in the river, he said, I'm telling you, he says, use an egg sac pattern, but he said, it doesn't really matter what color. What's important is how you present it. And that's what really is important with any kind of fishing. If you decide you want to go for muskies, you got to learn how to put that lure where the fish are. And it's the same way with any species. That's the real key. Once you know where they are, you've got to be able to present your lure in the best technique to make those fish think that they've got to have it. And that is really, really critical. You know, I really, as I think of the most important things I've learned this year, I think it's that is it. Because if you can't present your lure properly, it doesn't matter how good that lure is, you're not going to catch fish with it. And the other thing is you got to learn how to read the river and know where those fish are going to be. Only 90% of the fish are in only 10% of the water. I always try to remember that formula, and that's true. Most of the water that you will go out to fish won't have any fish holding in it at that time. You got to find the place where fish are feeding or where they find cover and structure. That's all really important. But learn how to present your lures, and there's a lot of tips I can give you on that. And we'll talk about another one next time. Until then, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.